Today is Friday, January 30th, 2026, the final trading day of the month, the final trading day of the week. And in the span of a few hours, silver collapsed from $121 to $95. $26 erased. If you're watching this right now and your heart rate just spiked, I need you to pause, breathe, do not click away. Because what just happened does not make sense. And panic is exactly what this move was designed to create. Silver just recorded one of its largest weekly drops in years, more than 20% wiped out. And yet, at this exact moment, you cannot buy physical silver. Think about that. Prices are crashing, but the product is disappearing. The Perth Mint has halted silver sales. The US Mint has suspended products and repriced others dramatically higher. The Royal Mint in the UK is out of stock. Dealers in India are failing to deliver paid orders. Costco has imposed purchase limits. Let me repeat that so it really lands. The price is falling for un strong, but the world is running out of silver. That is not how a real market behaves. In a normal market, falling prices bring out sellers. Inventory increases. Availability improves. That is not happening here. Instead, lower prices are triggering panic buying, not panic selling. Supply is vanishing faster, the price drops. That tells you one thing. The price you're seeing is not real. A few days ago, I warned that the 117 level in silver mattered. Historically, that zone has triggered sharp pullbacks. I expected volatility. What I did not expect was a full-scale breakdown of the physical market happening at the same time. That's the key difference this time. To understand why this matters, you need to understand something most people never learn. There are two silver markets. One is digital, paper contracts, futures, derivatives, promises to deliver silver someday. This is where the price you see on your screen is created. The other market is physical, bars, coins, metal that exists in the real world. These two markets are supposed to be connected. Right now, they are not. The paper market says silver is $95. The physical market says, sorry, not available. One of them is lying. Before the crash even began, the Perth Mint sent a notice to wholesalers stating they were overwhelmed by demand and suspending new orders to clear backlogs. This happened while silver was still trading near 117. Think about that. They were already unable to keep up before the crash. So what do you think happened when silver suddenly went on a 20% discount? Demand exploded. The crash didn't reduce interest. It ignited it. The US Mint ran into the same problem. Silver Eagles were being sold at prices that no longer reflected replacement costs. They halted sales, then brought products back at dramatically higher prices. India? Dealers are accepting payment and failing to deliver metal. Orders are being canceled after money is taken. That is not a shortage. That is a delivery failure. The Royal Mint, out of stock on basic silver bars. Costco, limiting purchases. When government mints, global dealers, and big box retailers all experience stress at the same time, that is not coincidence. That is systemic failure. And now let's talk about China, because this is where the story turns serious. Today, data from the Shanghai Futures Exchange shows that nearly 27 metric tons of silver were removed from vaults in a single day. That is an extraordinary number. At that pace, the entire exchange inventory could be gone in weeks. China has already restricted silver exports. They've classified silver as strategically important. So while Western markets dump paper contracts during US trading hours, China is quietly pulling real metal out of the system. Notice the pattern. Silver collapses when New York opens, stabilizes when New York closes. Physical buying accelerates in Asia. One side is selling something that doesn't exist. The other side is taking delivery of something that does. Which side do you think understands what silver is worth? Lease rates tell the same story. Normally, borrowing silver costs almost nothing. Right now, lease rates have surged, in some cases into extreme territory. That only happens when physical supply is scarce and holders refuse to part with metal unless heavily compensated. This is what a broken pricing system looks like. For years, silver has been in structural deficit. Demand has exceeded mine supply every single year since 2021. Hundreds of millions of ounces have come from above-ground stockpiles. Those stockpiles are now dangerously thin. There's no buffer left. So what happens next? Paper prices may remain volatile. They may fall further. They may spike violently, but physical silver will become harder to find, not easier. Premiums will rise. Availability will shrink. Eventually, the paper price becomes irrelevant because no metal is offered at that level. This has happened before. In the late 1970s, paper and physical separated. Dealers ran dry. Premiums exploded. And when the paper market finally snapped back to reality, silver didn't rise slowly. It repriced violently. I'm not saying history will repeat perfectly, but the underlying dynamic is the same. Paper can suppress price. Paper can create fear. Paper can create volatility. Paper cannot create silver. So here's the bottom line. If you hold physical silver, understand what you own. The world is scrambling for it. If you hold paper silver, understand what you don't own. And if you're watching prices and wondering why nothing makes sense, it is because the signal you aren't rewatching is no longer connected to reality. The price crashed. The metal disappeared. That is not a market. That is a trick. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Welcome to the hidden economy.